I just want to play it safe, and so I'll put the camera before I upload it to TikTok. What's the time now? 3 o'clock. So what I do is basketball hoop is just one of my fun alternatives, like there's these 2 different workouts. I don't do the works now because I want to have energy to have some fun on every day, not most days. But the thing is it's 5 sets of 20 bicep drills of the 10 kilograms, and it's 5 sets of 20 star jumps, and then you got that in that 5-minute rest thing, because I never used to do the 5-minute rest thing because I was like wasting time. But like when I was not listening to the professionals and not listening, it's like only because I used to listen and do what I was told. I was like Mr. Follow the rules. The majority of my life, just follow the rules, and it didn't get me to where I wanted to be, but at the same time it was like, so yeah. But now but half the time I was actually right. Half the time when I went off my own hunch of what was best for someone who had autism or ADHD, I was right. The other half the time was, well, sometimes, you have to do this 5-minute rest. So I go to the 21 areas on the basketball court where I have to land a basket. A bit different to the game, you might get 4 or 5 baskets in a game. Let's say it's first team to 7, and then what's the series then? First team to 7 baskets is a win, right? And then it's the first team to get 3 wins. And let's say that's what happened last time. We got 3 wins and the other team got 1, and I got, how many baskets did I get? 5. I got 5. Because they're all over you. It's totally different to just standing there, isn't it? So you got to do that, and the big swings I'll show you guys later. I'll do a little recording of it, and this is the park that I walk around, and I do all that twice, and then it's a 1 kilometer walk away from my house, from the basketball court. It's so the car park, I suppose the basketball court's only about 50 meters away from the thing, Well, the thing is this. The recording is about, so I've got 3 more, so I've been studying, should I do one? Okay. Autism, ADHD, and sensory overwhelm. See, I don't have my earbuds with me because I don't get sensory overwhelmed by screaming kids at the park. Now, obviously, if the kids are on the swing, I just leave the swing, or but they'll be both free, and then I'll hop on one, and then the child hops on one next to me, because the swings are very high. Like if I'm standing like this, right, the swings is probably like what's more than triple my height. It's probably about 4 times my height. So it's like adults can go on there, and it'll be a big swing for an adult, so it's awesome. Okay, so alright. You see this tree here? Remember, I'm 6'2", so I'm 6'2", so here's the ground. And then let's say you see where that branch is there, not that one, I like that one up a bit further. That's about the height of the swings, and the swings go up that high, so that's what I want to do. But it's like when the kids are in, you don't want to hit anybody, so I just stay off them if they're around. Autism, ADHD, and sensory overwhelm. Now, there's something to talk about, because ADHD and autistic people both get sensory, if you just have one or the other, both of them get sensory overwhelm. But, all the cicadas chirping, all the playing kids, the basking, bouncing of the ball, the skateboards at the skate park, because there's a skate park here, but I remember every time I jumped on a skateboard when I was a kid, I fell off, and then I got to the point where I was just like sitting on it and just going down the street hill, down the hills. But apart from that, I wasn't, and I was just sitting on it. But as soon as I stood up, I could only do like 4 or 5 brushes with the foot, then I'd fall off. And it's like, I got to a teen, I could do that, but I'd be going very, very slow and it won't be going fast. So, it's just best to focus on what you're good at. And, I like the swings, and I like the walk, and I like the basketball shooting. Autism, ADHD, sensory overwhelm. See, again, I think that there's the levels come into play here, because I think it's pretty obvious that, I have the, am I level 1 out of 3 or level 2 out of 4? But, I'm mild, right? So that means I've got all the benefits, but I haven't got, I do have the struggles, but not to the point where it's debilitating to my life. I mean, no one's going to be like, oh my God, you only go do like an 8-hour shift and then socialize. And then, go do things for a couple of hours afterwards. And apart from that, you're just studying documentaries and watching sports and WWE and UFC on YouTube. I mean, is that all you do outside your 8-hour job a day, and then your 2 or 3 hours where you're like doing workout stuff or talking to people outside of work? You know what I mean? That's not what I'd call debilitating, but that is me at my best. I'd like to say I'm the best at this and that, but the thing is, here comes the setting realistic goals, and this is why, because you got to do what's best for your mental health. I mean, I don't have the brain of someone who's got level 3 autism, so when I see that, I don't know. I can't say if they're brilliant or if they're really slow, or because there's different theories about that. And usually the ones on level 3, they're usually not talking, and they're using robots, and so I do believe that it would be like them to assail this big mission, this big mountain, to be able to do what I'm able to do. And I know that this world's not made up for us and stuff, but you also got to go see. It's not what I wanted to do as a career, security and stuff, but people keep it and suggesting it to me, and now that I do it, it's like, I was pursuing what passions were in, but I didn't make a dime out of it, but I was always contributing to different communities and that, with the performing arts and the music and that. But as soon as I started doing security, it was like, would you like to be trained for this? Would you like to be trained for that? Would you like to be trained for that? And younger me would be like, security? No. Now it's like I'm being shortlisted for 6-figure vacancies in security. That's why I say you're lucky if your purpose matches your hobbies. But then maybe that's also part of my purpose too, because people could be doing that for a full-time job, and then I can inspire them because I'm happy, and then I found peace in that, and then you find out you get to the point where you're getting, you're in the top 10%. Only one person in every 10 people in this country earns 6 figures, and that's 100,000, and obviously it gets, And so I actually try to be an encouragement to people like me. Some of them, they just, like for me, I was always putting in the hard work, and I might get jealous and stuff, but I never did anything, and I never tried to stop someone from succeeding, and then eventually I'd learn from them, or, that's just the way I was.